and former central banker Mark Carney will become Canada's next Prime Minister. Carney, a 59-year-old, was born in Fort Smith, Northwest Territories on March 16, 1965 and raised in Edmonton, Alberta. Carney is credited to have helped Canada manage the worst impacts of the 2008 financial crisis. While running for the top post, Carney said that he will, quote, rebuild, unquote, relations with India if voted to power. But viewers, when we're talking about Mark Carney, obviously the question that lies is who exactly is this person? And to gain an understanding of this next Prime Minister of Canada, I'd like to tell you who is going to be taking over after Justin Trudeau. So we're going to be talking about who exactly is Mark Carney, and when we're talking about that, he's a 59-year-old Canadian economist from Fort Smith, Canada. So he was born in Fort Smith, Canada in the Northwest Territories, and when we're talking about him, he has spent 13 years as a banker at Goldman Sachs, and he has worked as a banker before this, and he, according to polls, he is the best contender to tackle Donald Trump. And when he joined Bank of Canada as a deputy governor in 2003, so he has worked as the Bank of Canada, he has worked as the chief there, he has worked as a governor there, and he was the senior associate deputy minister and GS deputy in Department of Finance Canada. He has held several posts in the bank, and he has worked as a banker, as an economist before, and he was appointed governor of the Bank of Canada in 2007 as well. So he has worked at the Bank of Canada through a huge stint from 2003 to 2007 we have seen, and he played a major role in helping Canada avoid the worst of the 2007 crisis that hit Canada, the financial crisis that Canada was struggling with, and his decision to lower interest rates seen as significant contributors in Canada's avoiding the 2007 crisis. So his decision has helped Canada in getting solved that situation, getting him out of that. And chairman of the Bank for International Settlements Committee on Global Financial System until July 2012. So we have seen that he has held several posts throughout his career before becoming the next Prime Minister of Canada. He was appointed as the Governor of the Bank of England from 2013 to 2020, and so he has worked with several banks, not just Bank of Canada, he has worked with Bank of England as well, and he announced his candidature in the 2025 Canadian Liberal Party election. So now he has been elected as the Liberal Party leader, and it's a huge landslide victory that has taken place. His campaign has gained the highest $4.5 million in donations. So major donations his campaign has received after he announced his candidature for the post of next Prime Minister of Canada. So when we're talking about him, for him, what exactly are the challenges once he becomes the Prime Minister of Canada? The challenge number one is Trump's 25% additional tariffs on imports from Canada and trade war with biggest trading partner. So one of the biggest challenges right now amid this whole tariff war is obviously he has to deal with Donald Trump's tariff war situation that has been going on against Canada. Challenge number two, increasing housing prices and dropping sales of houses. So another issue that he has to tackle with is the housing crisis that is taking place in Canada. Challenge number three, falling growth rate and down to 1% in the last quarter. So he has to deal with that as well, and he's the right candidate since he has worked with the Bank of Canada and the Bank of England, and he has worked he's an economist as well. And he's the challenge number four is free run given to Khalistani gangs. So we have seen in recent times that there has been huge development in terms of the Khalistani activities, the pro-Khalistani supporters, and all of these activities in Canada. So another challenge for him, the fifth challenge is unprecedented diplomatic escalations with India over the Niger death. So obviously, one of the challenges that he has to deal with is this strained ties with India. But he has said that he's willing to work for the relationship with India. Challenge number 6, spike in visa rejections and tightened student visa rules. So another thing that he has to deal with, especially since a lot of Indian students are in Canada. So that is something, another thing that he has to tackle. All of these challenges pose in front of him once he is set to take over the office and succeed Justin Trudeau, and he has won a landslide victory in this. But we have with us my colleague Aditya Vadhan joining us on the telecast. Aditya, now Mark Carney is set to take over the office. He has won the top post in Canada. He's the next Prime Minister of Canada, taking over, succeeding Justin Trudeau. He has a lot of challenges in front of him, and one of the biggest, obviously, is the Trump tariff war that is taking place.
Yes, absolutely, Ria. It is very significant. It is a very significant moment in Canada's political leadership. You know, that Mark Carney will now succeed Justin Trudeau as a Prime Minister of Canada. You know, it is a very thought out decision made that has been made by the Liberal Party in Canada, because Mark Carney has a financial background. He has been an economist in the past, and right now he has made this statement that we will have to make a strong Canada, a strong economy, and we'll have to protect all the interests of economy. And he's openly called out US President Donald Trump. If he places tariffs on Canada, then Canada will keep in place the reciprocal tariffs on the United States of America. So at this juncture, it needs to be seen, because the topmost priority is to deal with a tariff thing. That is why Mark Carney will now succeed as the Prime Minister of Canada, succeeding Justin Trudeau. And now, however, it needs to be seen as to what action does he take. Does he take dismantle the Khalistani base that the nexus that exists in Canada? It needs to be seen whether he will work to dismantle the Khalistani network from the Canadian soil, or he takes the similar stance as the Trudeau has been taken. So it needs to be seen regarding this. Yes, Priya.
All right. We also have with us J.S. Sodhi, former diplomat, joining us on the telecast. J.S. Sodhi, in terms of the challenges that are being posed in front of Mark Carney, one of them obviously is the strained ties with India. Do you think under his prime ministership that the ties with India will resolve, or will he be able to mend ties with India?
Jai Hind, Riya. It's my honor to be on an esteemed channel. Ever since Canada gained independence on 1st of July 1867, this will be the most critical and crucial period in which Mark Carney will assume the prime ministership of Canada. Because at this point of time, Canada has its lowest ever relations with USA. It has a very bad relation with India, and the world over it is being ostracized for giving support to a lot of terrorists from the Canadian soil. So there's a big challenge that Mark Carney will have to now overcome. First and foremost for him would of course have been to mend ties with Donald Trump. He also now has to take strict and strong action on the Khalistani militants, who have become very active in the last 4 years of Justin Trudeau's prime ministership, which saw many attacks happening on India, on the Hindu temples there, on the Hindus in Canada, and on the Indian diplomats who were performing the official duties in Canada. So overall, it will be a very tough call for the new Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney. But given the fact that he has a non-political background, he's been a strong economist, he's been the governor of the Bank of Canada, he very well understands that for a country to prosper, most important is the economy has to be on track. So with this background, I'm sure he will stay clear of the contentious issues. He will take strict action on the Khalistanis, and he will mend ways to have good relations with India, because he knows that Canada will benefit more by having good relations with India, because India is a very large market. And as we talk today, Ria, more than 55 billion American dollars Canada has invested in India in mutual funds.
All right. Thank you so much for joining.